Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Wednesday morning. We'll get started off with our weather for Haney Technical Center at 757-5500. Run by and see them for any of your educational needs or vocational needs right there. And they'll be glad to help you. I know a lot of folks out there, and they're good folks. So right now, it's going to be a high. Actually, it's a little cooler. I've got 84 here and low tonight of 71, so not a big variance in there. And the water temperature remains at 83 degrees. The river readings, our flat rivers, they continue to be. Now, we do have a little bump. I say a very small bump coming in this afternoon. It's at a 0.6, but Apalachicola is very, very dry. Now, the Choctawhatchee, we're looking for it to jump up a little bit. We're getting a little bit of rain in the area, so Choctawhatchee's at a 0.6 now, but we're looking, it's going to jump up a foot by Thursday and Friday, and for the weekend, it looks like it could be getting close to 2 feet, like a 1.7, okay? We always like to take a look at our BJs Marine Specialist tide chart, and it's good, strong tide this week, and today we got a low tide this morning at 10:55, about an hour before lunch. There's going to be a low tonight at 10:04. But we're looking on Wednesday, June the 6th, really strong tides today, tomorrow, and on into the weekend. And first part of next week, if you want to plan ahead, a lot of y'all fish on Mondays. We've got some neat tides coming up on Monday. So we've got a lot of good stuff going on with the tidal system now. Okay, every Wednesday morning I like to call Captain Blair Morgan down at Cape San Blas and get a good report from him. Blair, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Winston. How are you doing?
We're doing good. If I can get organized here, Blue Water Outriggers brings you a report, and I'd like to give them all of the credit. So what's going on down there?
Well, out here in the St. Joe Bay and the Apalachicola Bay, the trout and redfish are still biting. You throw a pocket cork with a grub under it right on and catch them. I know a lot of people are down here now. They're tarpon fishing. There's tarpon all the way from the Cape Point around to Indian Pass. They're just all up down the beaches. If you're on the beach, you can see them out there rolling and jumping.
Yeah, Blair, I get a little tickle at this tarpon fishing. Everybody acts like it's something brand new and all, and it's really a trendy thing now. But, the old-timers, there's some old-time guides here in the 1920s here in Panama City and St. Andrews and up in Lynn Haven that actually were taking guiding tours in the 1920s with these tarpon guides coming down from Birmingham and Atlanta, just like we're doing now. So it's nothing new, but the locals didn't like to fool with them because it wasn't any good food to eat.
Yeah, that's true. But there were some folks came down here, I think they were from Missouri, that fly fishing for them. They hooked up on a fly rod.
Yeah.
Which is real fun.
That's getting really popular now, tarpon, and there's tarpon at all of the passes in this area this time of year.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's full of them, and like you say, a lot of people don't fish for them because they're no good to eat. A lot of us like kind of eat what we catch sometimes. So
yeah.
But that's going on real good. The triple tail is still good over here, and offshore. I took Sherry Thacker and her son Carter out Saturday, and they had a big time catching a big limit of snapper. They would probably average about 15 pounds a piece, and we caught a real nice red grouper and some black sea bass. We had a box of fish, just 2 of them fishing,
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day out there. But everything's going on right now.
Well, that sounds good. The wind has been hitting off and on pretty hard, so it's going to be windy for a day or two, looks like.
Yeah, I think Noah Fisheries got to figure it out on this 40-day snapper season. The wind's going to blow about 20 of those 40 days. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, all right, Blair.
Keep us off the water, but anyway.
All right, buddy.
We have to live with it.
Have you heard anything on the freshwater?
I haven't heard too much at all on freshwater. Like you say, everything's so low over there right now. Just really, and it's been so hot. Listen, the water temperature, it's just unbelievably hot for this time of year.
Yes.
And the fish that's over, the freshwater fish, they're going to be in the deepest water they can find.
That's right.
Trying to stay cool.
Yeah. All right, well, Blair, that's a good report, buddy. We appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you next week.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll take our first break and be right back.
Your vision is precious. If an emergency arises, you don't want to be sitting in a hospital waiting room. Accidents and injuries can happen outside of your workday. That's why our team of physicians provide emergency eye care to our patients anytime, day or night. You can count on your local experts in eye care to be there for you whenever you need us. The Eye Center of North Florida.
Nine doctors, one vision, yours.
Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team. Beat the rush and stock up on our team shirts and hats in a wide variety of colors and sizes. For your convenience, we offer a Panhandle Outdoors shop at panhandleoutdoors.net. Simply visit our website and click shop.
You can also check out our selection at Sunjammers Water Sports on Panama City Beach. Come join the Panhandle Outdoors team.
Time. It takes time to shape a mower, to evolve it from great stock. As the leader in commercial mooring equipment, XMark spent a lot of time designing the next Laser Z, honing it, testing it, perfecting it. Why would XMark spend so much time crafting this mower? To make sure you spend less time mowing. Visit nextlaser.com or your local XMark dealer.
Sweet old Bob says see and save on all XMark products today at Sowell Tractor.
We are so lucky to live in North Florida. We have some of the best fresh and saltwater fishing in the world. My biggest problem is not catching fish, but trying to decide what kind of fish I want to catch. No matter what I'm after, I always stop at Sunjammers Water Sports first. They have just what I need: rods and reels, line, tackle, and most important, live bait. Yes, sir, we sure are lucky.
All right, welcome back to him, Rick Corder. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning.
Rick's always our boat expert. Comes in and been around boats all of his life, I guess.
Just
a little
about.
kid in the bathtub. I bet you had a little boat. But I know we're talking about a lot of things and all, but this time of year we're getting ready. June is always talking about hurricanes, and sooner or later we're going to get one close to us. So
right. Well, one of the things that I was going to mention is in the situation of a hurricane, a lot of people want to anchor out, and a lot of people say, well, to anchor my boat, what do I need? Mm-hmm. Well, a good rule of thumb you can follow is normal anchoring is you want a 7-to-1 rode so you'll stay there for in the morning. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you go to bed that night on the boat, 7-to-1 is it. In other words, if the water's 10 foot deep, you want a 70-foot anchor line out. Mm-hmm. And the 10-to-1 is not bad. But 7-to-1, if you're in 10 feet of water, you want 70 feet. Now, if it was me, I'd put 100. But most people, usually they'll tell you, I got 150 foot of anchor line. I said, you're not going to anchor in much water. Mm-hmm. Because when you start multiplying it out, really and truly the minimum around here would be 300 feet is what you ought to have of anchor line. And of course, people say, well, what size anchor? I said, well, a rule of thumb, 1 pound per foot in length. In other words, if you got a 30-foot boat, you need a 30-pound anchor.
Okay.
If you got a 60-foot boat, you need a 60-pound anchor. And you ought to have half a foot of chain on there from the anchor to where the line starts for every 1 foot length of boat. In other words, if you've got a 30-foot boat, you ought to have 15 feet of chain on it. Okay. If you do that, you've got proper anchoring gear for normal. Now, in case of a hurricane or something like that, and you're going to go up one of these bayous and anchor out, you want to make sure that you've got at least 15-to-1. Mm-hmm. And remember this, 15-to-1 when what the storm surge is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So if you're in a bayou that's 10 foot deep and you're going to anchor there, and they're expecting an 8-foot storm surge, you got 18 feet. Well, 15 times 18, that's a long line. Yeah. But if you do that with proper chafing gear, you'll probably ride it out right there in enclosed space with no problem.
You got to keep in mind, you want that angle too.
Yeah.
You got to have a long angle. It's not, anchor don't drop.
No, right you drop it straight down. Anything less than 3-to-1, it won't hold at all. Yeah. You got a minimum of 3-to-1. That's if you're going to sit there and watch it, and maybe you stop to eat a sandwich or something. 3-to-1's fine, but you're right there. If it starts dragging, you can crank up and do something about it, or let out more line to change the scope.
And this was so important too in the history. I know a lot of people have insurance now, some don't, of course. But the old timers, they didn't have insurance, and when they had to go up in Smack Bayou and different bayous, and they knew when the storm was coming, and they were some. I talked to some of the old timers about how they anchored up and how important it was.
A lot of times they would put the anchor off the stern and they'd go in close and go out to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that and tie the bow off, if you do that, you don't want to pick the biggest tree out there, and you don't want to pick the smallest.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle is the best trees, and tie right at the base. But the other thing is good chafing gear, because that's going to rub when the boat's swinging in the wind.
The folks on the east side, I remember talking about that over by Parker Bayou. They'd get up in there. They would get up over there where the Tyndall Bridge.
They still do.
Yeah, they do. They get up in Southport. I see them up in that area when the storm's coming up.
The other thing is, if you've got a storm anchor, it should be half again as heavy as usual. In other words, and it wouldn't be hurt. For example, if you're anchoring a 60-foot boat, a 120-pound anchor really wouldn't be too much.
Yeah, and if you can too, if you can trailer your boat, if your boat's small enough to trailer, just get it out of there.
That or have a haul out with one of these shipyards, and they have haul out plans.
Mike Miller up there, Miller Marine.
Mike, Bay County Boat Yard, Lighthouse, all these places. If you can get your boat out on dry land, it's actually better, and here's why. Don't care what happens, you may do everything right. Mm-hmm. Your neighbor may be an idiot, and he comes flying into your boat, sinks it. Well, in salt water, once you sink a boat, you got a problem, because salt water immediately starts working on everything electrical and the engine and all that. So you may wind up totaling a boat out just by being flooded by salt water. Where if it's up on the hill and it gets blown over, you may do a little fiberglass damage, but that can be fixed. Yeah. But you just stand it back up, fix fiberglass, put it back in the water. It hasn't gotten flooded by salt water.
Okay.
And so that's the reason some insurance companies will pay half the cost to have the boat hauled out so that they don't have a claim.
Okay. All right, let's take our next break, and we'll be right back talking more stuff along these boats.
Panama City Beach is known as one of the top dive destinations in Florida. Divers Den offers daily dive charters that can accommodate up to 13 divers. Our boat captain is U.S. Coast Guard certified and a PADI dive instructor. We have trained professionals who offer a variety of scuba certifications. Come see us at our 2 locations on Thomas Drive and Tyndall Parkway.
When you're looking for sales, parts, and service for your outboard, all in one location, you're looking for BJs Marine. You're authorized Tohatsu and Nissan dealer. BJs Marine does it all. They have outboard parts and a service center and used motor sales too. Tohatsu, reliable, dependable, fuel efficient, and lightweight. Tohatsu Outboards, technology for the next generation. BJs Marine, 1317 Transmitter Road since 1991.
Steel, the #1 selling brand of handheld outdoor power equipment in America.
Create a custom yard care system with the Steel Combi System. Edge, trim, prune, and more.
Buy a KM55R Combi motor for just $209.95 and get a pair of hearing protectors and safety glasses for just $15.
Start easier, work smarter, finish faster with Steel, #1 in America.
Frito Bob says see and save today and every day on all Steel outdoor products at Soul Tractor.
When you stop by Blue Water Outriggers, you will find everything for your outdoor adventure. Stock up on all your favorite brands and shop for some of the latest outdoor gear and accessories. You can also shop online and have your orders delivered straight to your home. Our flagship store is nestled right off the Highway 98 in the Port City Shopping Center, just steps away from the Port St. John Marina. You will love our selection, our prices, and our friendly service.
Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with Rick Corder talking about boats and all, but we got a lot of fishing information too to share with you today, and I got a lot of reports that are coming in from snapper fishing. I got a lot of pictures and some nice red snapper were caught, and I'll share some during the week and all with you. But it was a good weekend, although it was a little windy from some of the smaller boats and all. We really had some good catches, some really nice snapper coming in. Let me share some of these pictures with you. This first one. This comes from one of our viewers now. I love the way she wrote this. This is Victoria Duncan. 14 years old. She's out of Black Creek, Florida. Hey, Coach, I've been fishing my whole life, and she spelled it whole a long way. I've caught my first fish when I was 4 years old. It was a 3.5 pound bass on a Tweety pole, and this is my latest addition to my fishing experience. I caught it in my dad's good friend's Skipper Pate's pond. My dad and I watch your show every morning. My dad is Billy Duncan. He's my Pokio. All right, here's a nice. That's a nice. Isn't that a pretty fish, Rick?
Yeah,
that's nice right there. I know that fried up good. Thank you for sending that, Victoria, and we appreciate you watching. Now let's go to a couple of grown-ups. Bill Allen's always good about sending his pictures. Bill Allen went out Sunday afternoon and caught some nice. Went out. He and Mark Cowett. Caught some nice fish, and that's Mark and
oh yeah,
nice. That's a nice one. They caught and released all of these. That's a nice trout up there. See, this has some West Bay fishing right here. Caught and released all of them Sunday afternoon. Good job, Bill and Mark. That's a good job right there. Okay. Now I want to show you one more, and this is from this is a redfish. I want you to look at the color on this. Okay. Mike Heppenstall sent me this. He and Randy Sheffield went. They call this a lot of times these redfish in the Gulf just take on a different hue, a different color.
Yeah, almost copper color.
It is copper. It's beautiful fish. It's an incredible gold color and all. And this was they were out looking for snapper, and they found a school of them in the Gulf. And a lot of folks can do that, but that's the color they get. Okay. And here's another shot of one of them right here. All right.
Oh, nice fish.
Nice fish. That's his son and all. But they were able, there's Mike with the snapper, they were able to catch some snapper.
That's a nice snapper.
Yeah, a lot of folks had good luck with snapper. So thank all of y'all for sharing those pictures with us and all. We appreciate that. I want to say a special congratulations today to my good dear friend, Coach Tim Jennings is retiring. This is his last day of school. Tim has taught with me about 20 years. Overall, he's taught for about 35 years in the math department. He's been a football coach at Mosley, been our athletic director, and a good fishing buddy, most of all a good friend of mine, and he's hanging it up today. And I know he's going to have many years of good retirement ahead of him. And you know what, we had a big party for him Friday night. You know what the coaches got him for a retirement present? Got him a cast net. He loves to throw cast net. We had a handmade cast net from Bill McNeil and surprised him with a big cast net. So Tim, we're proud of you, buddy. Hope you have a great retirement.
I think you ought to have a mullet fish fry when he retires.
We will. We're going to have several of those. Okay. So now we were talking about how important anchor and all it was, but other things are important too when you're getting ready for the storm with your boat and all.
Well, yeah, you
want to get all your stuff off of it.
Absolutely. Take out, especially your canvas items such as bimneys and if you've got isinglass, because that stuff will not hold up. It'll be blown, and that's expensive stuff. So if you can take that down, any electronics, unless you're going, I'd take them off the boat, put them where they're safe. All your high dollar items that are portable or semi-portable, I would take off. Clear the boat. That puts it up a little higher too, because you're getting weight off the boat. But the other thing is, even if you haul it out, that's security, because if a hurricane hits, there's usually, for a while there's nobody there, and you get somebody in there that wants to come in and steal and plunder. They can, and they don't always catch them. So you save that heartache of having to replace stuff.
And a lot of people, including myself, live right there on the shoreline. And the big thing I have to do is my little things, my kayak, canoes, and all that. You just got to get those off the waterfront. You got to get them way back in.
Well, you don't want them because they'll become missiles too.
Yeah, and they'll just go all over the place. So you got to get all that stuff, because you're going to lose them if they get it. That power of the surge is incredible.
Yes.
If you've ever seen it in person, and all this.
I literally took me 2 years after the storm was over, I found a boat I'd been looking for. 2 years. Yeah. And it was like 5 miles from where it was over in the bar when they had that one. And it was back up in there in the woods north of 98. And I didn't really find it, me looking. I looked even from an airplane. But the way they found it was they had another boat. And when I went to that boat, it was sitting not far away. So I went over and looked, and I said, I'm looking for this boat also. So I found 2 boats at the same time.
Yeah, you'll find a pattern. When Opal hit, we had the same thing. We always laugh about this. All of our stuff was just washed away and all. And about a year and a half later, we actually found one of my wife's red high heel shoes about a half a mile away from the house, and we were just looking for something else, and happened to see that. But it's incredible what the power was.
Up to a category 2, you anchoring in these bayous and all, it's okay. But if that storm's going to be anything more than a 2, no way I'm staying on a boat here. I'm not staying here. I'm getting out of here. That boat is not worth my life.
And you're coming from some experienced people that've been through this and all.
I rode out supposedly the worst one of all in 1991 up there that they made the movie. They called it Perfect Storm. We don't call it that. That's the Halloween storm of 91.
Yeah, you were up there when it happened.
I was up there when it was happening, and I saw 80-something foot seas, and I don't like it.
That was an incredible storm. All right, we're going to take our last break, and we'll be back with our conclusion of our show.
On the water or under the water, success starts at C&G Sporting Goods. C&G specializes in fresh and saltwater fishing tackle, floundering supplies, spearfishing equipment, and much, much more. C&G also has licenses, maps, and expert advice on where to go. For over 59 years, C&G Sporting Goods has been the headquarters for the outdoors man. Fishing, hunting, camping, guns, and ammo. They've got it all. C&G, home of the experts, downtown Panama City.
When you need to get the job done, nothing beats the reliability, efficiency, and value of a Kubota. And right now, during Kubota Rewards, take advantage of 0 down and 0% APR for up to 60 months on new Kubota garden tractors, compact tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. It pays to own orange. See your Kubota dealer today.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Soul Tractor today.
My name's Captain Rick Corley. I'm a SAMS accredited Marine Surveyor, NAM certified Marine Surveyor, and IAME certified Marine Investigator. Been surveying since 1969. Was taught by my father, who is the oldest, longest practicing Marine Surveyor in the world. We do all types of survey, commercial or pleasure. Steel, aluminum, fiberglass, wood, makes no difference. Give us a call at 850-527-5287 or visit us online. We'd appreciate your business.
Are you still waiting to do something with your IRA, 401k, annuities, or other investments?
My dad has an economics degree from Vanderbilt University, and he helped me with my homework. A lot of people call themselves financial planners, but my dad passed a board exam to be a certified financial planner. He's very easy to talk to, and he spends a lot of time with me.
To my existing clients, thank you for your friendship and loyalty through these uncertain times, and to everyone else, don't wait until it's too late. Call me today, and let's see if I can help.
All right, welcome back. Sitting in Rick Corley. First, let's go over this time. I always to do the Express Lane Fishing Game Forecast for today. Let's get it taken care of. Brought to us by Express Lane. Looking at this morning was 232 to 242, and this evening we're looking at 301 to 501. That's an excellent time right there for our fishing game forecast. Brought Express Lane, American-owned, American-operated, putting up a nice store there at the corner of 388 and Highway 79 there on the airport road. 390, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, 388. It is 388. Yeah. Okay, also I want to say good morning to Brett Jones down there at Cape San Blas. Brett watches the show every day. He's from Alabama, but like so many folks, he comes here as much as he can and stays on the Cape and goes fishing, and I know he's a good fisherman. So good morning, Brett. Appreciate you watching the show. Now, we were talking about, let's see, the boat sales.
Yeah.
They've gone up.
Yep, 6%.
One of the glimmer of optimism in our bad economy is boat sales are going up.
Yeah, well, people are beginning to figure out that the world hasn't come to an end. It's just slowed down a little bit. And most people don't realize boating is the #1 outing anywhere in the world for the family. Worldwide, any country you go to, boating is the #1 family outing.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
And what I like about it, I didn't realize at the time because I just grew up on them, and around them. But actually, that's one of the best things in the world to do with a kid is teach them how to run a boat, the responsibility that goes with it, and if they learn that, believe it or not, you become a better automobile driver. And even when I learned to fly, there was airplanes and boats are closer together than automobile and boats. The techniques and the rules and the regulations. And so no matter what you do, it'll actually enhance.
You're right. Well, the big thing about automobile, it has brakes, and the other two don't have brakes.
That's right. They don't have, well, the running lights are the same on an airplane as they are on a boat. And a lot of the rules are. The only difference is an airplane you can control this way, and you got some rules. It's three-dimensional rather than two-dimensional, but that's the reason they call it aeronautical. It takes most of its information and procedures from nautical.
That's a good point out there. And I let our kids get on our boat and all. They, you get out in the middle of a lake or somewhere, and they're not going to hurt anything, but they learn a whole lot.
Grand Lagoon was my playground. From the time I was 10 years old, Dad built me 4 14-foot cypress skiffs. I rented 3, and I had 1 for me to play with. But what it was there for, I had an outboard on it. I could go get somebody if they were broke down and tow them in. Because back then, outboards weren't all that reliable.
You had a little towing service, you didn't even know it.
Yeah, I had a towing. Well, I had a rental service, towing service.
Yeah. You probably saved some people's lives.
Yeah. Well, had fun anyway.
I love talking about those old wooden boats that was made out of cypress, and sometimes they're made out of juniper. But you don't hardly find any of those old boats anymore. But there were advantages of them. They were stable, but they were heavy. Once they got wet, waterlogged, we had them on the river and down in Tulogia and Oak Lock in the river. And they were heavy.
Oh, I was in good shape when I left here to go in the military because I'd been rowing all over that lagoon with 7.5-foot oars on a 14-foot boat, and then of course Captain Walter Anderson, we used to mullet fish with him, and we'd take one of them old 21-foot big lolly boats and go have 1,000 foot of net on it and go out there and catch mullet, and we'd have to row all that stuff home. There wasn't no motor. And we go all over Grand Lagoon.
Yeah, in those days, the health clubs wouldn't have made it because everybody stayed in shape by doing that kind of physical work. And now that we don't do physical work, that's why the health clubs are so good. And it's really important that you stay healthy and do these kind of things. But outdoorsmen, it comes natural by doing outdoor stuff.
And you were talking about people retiring. Well, retiring's okay if you'll take up something else. But if you just go home and sit down.
That's right.
They're going to bury you in 7 years.
I get comments from a lot of people who aren't necessarily outdoorsmen, in fact, but they have insomnia. They'll wake up sometimes at 3:30 in the morning and can't go back to sleep, and they just start turning the TV on, and they watch our show. I appreciate you watching the show, but I know that's a big problem. A lot of times.
Dad was 93 because he worked.
Yeah.
And that's why he made it to 93. He worked.
Yeah, a lot of times you work almost too much, and then sometimes you don't work enough. You got to hit that medium right there.
Well, the other thing is if you're doing something you love, you enjoy, it's really not work.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I hear that a lot. That's what that's my claim to fame on teaching because I really love doing that. So speaking of that, now summer's coming on. Most schools are out now, getting out this week and all. And you really want to spend some time doing something with the kids, like Rick said, around boats and everything. And they have sailing lessons. They have kayaks, canoes all over the place.
They have a safe boating class usually the first Saturday of every month, and it's fairly inexpensive at Treasure Island Marine at Marine Max. They teach, and Bill Fowler's running that program, and that's a good thing for kids to do. It's a one-day course, but it's very informative. They also need to have it because now to rent a jet ski or anything of that nature, or even ride a jet ski, they're supposed to have it.
Look, regular time is flown by, buddy. We got to get out of here. Thanks, buddy.
Going to Tallahassee.
All right. Don't work too hard. Thank y'all for watching the show, folks. Do something good for somebody today. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.